John Maynard Keynes. Here's a little book I did the front cover for years ago, not so long ago actually. This is a translation of the economic consequences of the peace, one of his key texts really. John Maynard Keynes was a British economist whose ideas fundamentally transformed economic theory and policy in the 20th century. He was born into an academic family. He was educated at Eton and Cambridge, born into the same family as Tony Benn, Hilary Benn, Josiah Wedgwood, and so on. And he studied mathematics before turning to economics, and his career spanned academia, government service, finance. I'm sure if he were alive today, he would have been a coder. He's best known for his work during the interwar period and World War II, the general theory of employment, interest and money, revolutionized macroeconomics by challenging classical economic theories that markets are always clear and are self-correcting. He argued that aggregate demand, that's the total spending in an economy, was the primary driver of economic activity and employment. And this led to the development of the Keynesian economics, advocating for government intervention through fiscal and monetary policy to manage economic cycles. He played a crucial role in the British Treasury during World War I and at the 1919 Paris Peace Conference, where he critiqued, in this book here, the harsh reparations imposed on Germany in the economic consequences of the peace and foresaw the development of World War II. His foresight in economic diplomacy also influenced the Bretton Woods Conference in 1944, which established the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, institutions designed to promote global economic stability. And throughout his life, he was an influential public figure, contributing to debates on economic policy, offering insight on various issues, including public finance and international trade. And he was an investor, accumulating considerable wealth in his own right through his understanding of financial markets. His legacy endures in modern economic thought and policy, particularly in how governments respond to economic recessions. So it is perhaps a little bit surprising when Rachel Reeves sort of distorts one of his quotations. The original quote from John Maynard Keynes was in 1942 on the BBC, and he said, "Anything we can actually do, we can afford." It's a sort of logical statement. He used this statement to argue against the narrow focus on monetary cost in evaluating government policies and government projects. He emphasized that as long as society has the resources and the labor to achieve something, it can afford to do so, advocating for investment in public goods and services even during challenging times. Yesterday, Rachel Reeves misquoted this idea by stating, "We can afford whatever we can do." It's a modest rephrasing, but her rephrasing shifts the focus slightly, possibly to emphasize the practical capacity to implement policies rather than the theoretical affordability that Keynes was discussing. Reeves' use aligns with a contemporary context, highlighting fiscal responsibility in the middle of economic instability and emphasizing the balance between necessary public investments and economic constraints. But it is nevertheless, let's be absolutely clear, abundantly clear, it's a distortion of what this man actually said. And his original message underscored a broader vision of economic potential beyond strict financial calculations, a nuance that Reeves' adaptation simplifies and slightly obliterates, possibly to resonate with present-day economic discourse and with her particular rollout. But you can't distort the past simply to benefit the present. It's a piece of political theatre that I think should be discouraged. Misquotations should be discouraged in Parliament.